Okay, I'd like to call a meeting of the zoning board of appeals to order. First thing I like is a motion to accept the minutes of the last meeting.
So moved, Vince.
Second.
And second. Four ayes. Motion carried.
Aye.
All right, first thing I'd like to do is read the standards for variances so that there's no argument or something. The zoning board of appeals shall not recommend a variance from the regulations of this ordinance unless it shall make written findings based on evidence presented to it in each specific case that all standards for hardship set forth below are met. A, the property in question cannot yield a reasonable return if permitted to be used only under the conditions allowed by the regulations in the district wherein the property is located. The plight of the owner is due to unique circumstances such that the enforcement of this ordinance would result in practical difficulties or impose exceptional hardships due to special and unusual conditions which are not generally found on other properties in the same zoning district. C, the variance, if granted, will not be a substantial detriment to adjacent property. D, the proposed variation will not impair an adequate supply of light and air to adjacent property or substantially increase the congestion in public streets or increase the danger of fire or endanger the public safety or substantially diminish or impair property values within the neighborhood. The granting of the variation will not be detrimental to the public welfare or injurious to other property and improvements in the neighborhood in which the property is located and will not overcrowd the land or create undue concentration of populations. Now, that being said, the first request for a variance tonight is from Gavin Aubrey for a variance to construct a garage which will make the accessory structures exceed 50% of the footprint of the principal structure. Would you please stand up, state your name for the record, and present your request, please?
My name is Gavin Aubrey. I'm wanting to build a 22 by 30 garage in my side lot. I have a double lot. It's pretty, I mean, not much to say. I need an extra garage for my storage. Plenty far enough away from my neighbors. I don't really know what else, I mean, do you have any questions?
Have you combined the two lots into one?
They are.
You'll have two accessory structures on the same lot?
The one I want to build will be on a part of the lot where there is not a structure now.
Hey, Charlie,
Yeah,
this is John. So I did a Google Maps of his property, and it certainly looks like there's plenty of land for additional accessory building. I just don't know where he's going to want to position it, because there was no real details of where you want to put the accessory building on that property. So we just want to make sure you guys have, there's enough room, setbacks and that kind of stuff. So maybe you can explain, where you want to put the accessory building and how far away are you from the property lines?
wait a second. Do you have the paperwork? John, do you have the paperwork?
Yes.
Okay, look at the second page with the GCI picture. Do you see the black rectangle?
Oh, you know what? I could not see that. Okay. I see it now. It's hard to see because it's an outline in black. Okay. So you're going to have it adjacent to the house.
It will set, it'll set back from the house. So the house will be, will be closer to the road than the garage will be. I have a fence, and the garage will be right, even with the fence.
Okay.
So, the front.
You don't need any variances except for, okay.
How far is this accessory building from your primary residence, though? How many feet do you expect it to be?
From my house, I expect it to be, I haven't measured that. I'm just thinking in my head, it probably is 10 foot.
Okay.
We have,
the ordinances they have greater or 5 feet or greater. So
okay. Yeah, it would be more than 5 feet, because right next to the house, where the fence is, there's a gate there, and then the garage would be on the other side of the gate. So the gate would be in between the house and the garage.
Okay. How tall is your garage accessory building going to be, approximately?
We haven't decided on 9 foot or 10 foot walls, but I'm assuming overall height with either wall to be 15, 16 feet
Okay.
to the peak of the roof.
And how are you going to access that accessory building? Is there going to be a new driveway poured, or how will that be accessed?
I'm not sure yet. I mean, to pour the concrete and stuff, we're gonna lay down gravel to get the truck and stuff in there. And then, after the gravel settles, decide what I'm gonna do.
That's fine. I would just make sure it's not intruding into your neighbor's, property for whatever.
No,
material.
nothing. Yeah,
Okay.
nothing. The gravel I put in for getting the truck and stuff in is just gonna be straight off the road, like straight to where the front of that fence is. That's where the door will be.
Okay. I don't have any more questions, Charlie.
Dan or Vince?
I don't have any.
Vince, do you have any questions?
I think he's on mute.
Yeah. Charlie, this is Vince. I have a few questions. The existing fence that's there, you say that the garage will be east of the gate that's in place on the east side of the house.
It will be north. The fence runs. The
Okay,
fence runs
yeah,
north and
right.
south.
Yes, you're right. The fence runs north and south, east and west. I stand corrected. Now, you've alluded to the fact that you were going to put gravel down to get building materials and items through there to the construction site. Are you going to remove the fence? Are you going to leave the fence up and have an entrance to the street?
The fence, the whole back part of our lot is fenced in. That part that runs to the house is what closes it off. So where the garage comes in, I'm gonna open it up and the garage will sit there, but the fence will still be connected going north on the side of the garage and then the part that connects it to the house. That makes sense.
Okay, because one of the concerns that I have, and I'm raising this issue with you so that you're not surprised. It doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the zoning issue at this point, but you have a catch basin out there in your front, sitting next to a fire hydrant. So you have a water main as well as a storm drain out there. You might want to check with the city to see if they're going to make you harden those lines, which would be an additional cost above and beyond what you're thinking the garage is going to be. And by hardening, I mean you may have to put some type of additional concrete structure or culvert or other material over those lines before you can put a driveway in. Now, which way are the gables going to run on this? Are they going to run north and south or east and west? North and south, imagine.
The roof line will be the same as what the house is. So the peak, it'll sit north and south, same as the house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Charlie, the size of his garage is going to put him over the excess of the 900 square feet, by 336 square feet over the 900. If you add in his ancillary garage that he already has there.
Yes, the only reason I don't really have a problem with it is because it's on two different lots
Okay.
that he has combined. He's still got plenty of open space.
Yeah, he has a large lot. I'm just raising that issue, that's all. I don't have anything further.
Dan, you said you didn't have any?
No.
All right, is there anybody to speak in opposition to this issue? Don't look like it, okay. Would anybody else? Vince, you're our usual go-to guy. Pardon me? Vince, could you unmute your microphone?
We're getting muted by default. Somebody's muting us. So I'm not sure if that's automatic or what.
Yeah, it seems to be automatically muting because I didn't mute it. I'm not too sure how to do this, Charlie. I'm going to ask for your advice here because he's well in excess of his 50% of his primary structure, and he would be 324 square feet above and beyond the 900 square feet. So how just do you or anyone on the board think we should craft the proposed variance? Is he looking for more than one variance?
No, to the best of my knowledge, he only needs one, but it's 1,236 square feet if I haven't made a mistake with my math.
Nope.
1236 divided by 900, or minus 900, that's 336 square feet over the 900 square feet total, so the variance should probably say something about that. You know, grant the variance, total square footage of the two auxiliary structures to be 1,236 square feet maximum, which is 336 square feet over the allowed maximum of 900. Because you're over 100% of the estimated square footage of the house.
Oh, yeah, yeah. All right, I make a motion that the petitioner, Gavin Aubrey, of 2207 Boyce Place, Ottawa, Illinois. Legal description is as attached. Location is as attached to the application. He granted the variance of not to exceed 1,236 square feet, being 336 square feet above the 900 square feet total permitted for ancillary structures, as indicated in municipal zoning ordinance.
Right there in the top line, 1-2.
Right, yeah. We hear a second?
I'll do the second.
John Stone, seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
4 ayes, motion carries. Mr. Aubrey, we are strictly a recommendational board. We recommend you go to the next city council meeting. It'll probably be the same format. Usually there's not any problems with it. Usually they're approved as we recommend. But as I said, we are strictly a recommendational board. We don't make a decision. The next meeting is this coming Tuesday at 6:30 or 7 o'clock at the same location.
Okay.
Toward the end of the meeting, but we don't know how long the meetings are. So that's what we recommend.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and you don't have to spend the rest of the night here. We appreciate your audience, but it's okay.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Uh-huh.
Okay, next request for variance is from Martin Phelan, requesting to change his previous variance and to make it bigger. Could you please stand up and state your name and present your case?
Yes, I'm Martin Sean Phelan. I'm the owner of 217 DeLeon Street in Ottawa. And I would like to make it slightly bigger after talking with my builder. I was very much in the going on Menards.com, the garage builder, and putting it in. I knew I wanted to be able to fit 6 vehicles in there, and I built a garage that would do it. But I didn't have any really construction experience as to how to make it work the right way. I am now working with Mr. Ron Larrabee of Larrabee Builders to actually build the garage, and he recommended to me that, because I want to be able to use the upstairs portion of the garage too, you know, build a little home bar and make some place to make music and stuff, and then store some car parts and stuff, or whatever else I need to do, Christmas lights too, probably a lot of that. And he said that because of the 30-foot clear span on it, the floor is going to be like this. Every time I walk on it, it's going to be bouncing, and it's not going to be very nice to do it that way. So he said in order to avoid that, I got to put a big concrete, or not concrete, a big I-beam down the center, or slightly off-centered, down the center of the structure to take the floor bounce out. In order to do that, in order to support that, you got to sink 3 piers with the little metal poles running down the middle of the inside of the garage. Well, doing that kind of necessitates, I don't know the word necessitates, I'm not good at English, making the garage a little bit wider in order to be able to fit that and still be able to not open car doors into the beams and stuff like that. So that's why I would like to move from the previously approved 30-foot to a 32-foot wide. And as far as taking it from 44 to 46, I would like that because it allows me to build a full-size staircase up to the attic rather than using the drop-down stairs and all that. And it doesn't interfere with the workbench, because the whole plan, I don't know if you can see this very well, he drew this up for me, is you put actually the garage doors are down there. I want to put workbenches up towards the top. I did not have these. Maybe I did have those when I submitted the application. I don't remember if I did or not. But I want to put a little like workbench areas up in there, and having the stairs and having the extra 2 feet would be really helpful for it. It wouldn't be a deal breaker if it couldn't, but it'd be awesome if you guys would let me do that. As far as making it a good thing for the area and not, you know, kind of rejuvenate. I don't know how familiar you are with Deleon Street and all, but there's some abandoned house right next door to me on the right that's been got gutters falling off, its windows boarded up and stuff. And then there's on the other side, there's apartment complex that kind of has seen some decay a little bit. The garage next door to it, or the back portion of their garage, has got a hole in the roof. And there's some other houses that have on the street that have been kind of turned around a little bit, new siding, new windows and stuff in the past year. So hopefully throwing a little bit of money into here and build something that's nice and in character with the area will actually kind of help on that too. And with this is Ron's idea, is kind of make it sort of like a miniature character or carriage house, they said, of the old house is the way of doing it. So which I'd end up doing is from the street view would be this, and, you know, kind of put a front little porch on there, a little overhang, kind of like my house has, only without build a big front porch, just put some brick paver patios and stuff and put a little eyebrow porch on there to kind of replicate what the house has done, and then just copy the same style windows that the big house has, you know, just do the big, the bay window there, and then small window, small, and a little small one like my actual house has, to kind of make it look like it belongs rather than a big garage, you know. And then for the side view of it, if you can't really tell, I would be doing a hipped roof on the roof on it. This is the details I didn't have when I came here last year. I should have talked to a builder first, but I hated to waste a builder's time if I didn't even know if I was going to be able to get the variance. So from the side view, the street would be here, the alley would be there. You know, you got the hipped roof there because it's not perfectly square. You have a flat section. And then from the street, you'd have a hipped roof here. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's at an angle. You know, it's a hipped roof. So it looks kind of like my house, what does, only instead of building a dormer up top like my house does, because that's kind of excessive and way too expensive. This is too expensive as it is. And that's what I'd like to do with it. That way I could have a second floor on there and have my music room and storage and have a little bar and stuff like that. And depending on how expensive it is, maybe if I can afford it, I'd like to maybe tap into the sewer and have a bathroom there so I can take a shower and wash the dirt off my hands before I come into the house so my wife doesn't kill me. I'm sorry, my girlfriend doesn't kill me. But that is the nature and why I'd like to do it. And hopefully I gave you a little more detail and information than I had last year when I came before you, because I actually know what I want to build now. And I've actually got the builder working on it and actually took in bids for concrete and all that. So basically just waiting on a yay or nay, or whether we got to go back to the drawing board and find if we can shrink this thing up a little bit and still give me the space I need.
Would you mind bringing them in to me, please?
Oh, absolutely.
We don't have a copy of those.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're right. I'll be right in. Sorry about that. get Matt's doing it.
Okay, John and Vince, you guys are gonna have to take our word for it if we like it.
Sorry about that. I did not have that information with me when I first submitted the application. I kind of got handed these about a week and a half ago, and I'm like, oh, I like this. And I started sketching some stuff, but. Oh. I think it muted on you again.
Okay, sorry about that. So, what material, what type of a garage is it? It's not gonna be a pole barn, is it? It's gonna
No,
be a.
no. There's no pole barn in town, obviously.
Okay.
What we're talking about doing with it is, doing a concrete footer that goes down into the full perimeter, 3 feet, then a footer down below, and then 3 feet of concrete above the ground so that we can use 2x6 by 8s to do the wall for the downstairs. That gives me an 11-foot interior height on the first floor. That lets me put a lift in there, and be able to actually work on cars instead of working on jack stands like I have for the past 15 years. What I was planning on doing is letting them pour the concrete around there. And then they said they have these screw-on sheets that look like brick and they give it the masonry look. So I'd like to do that and then put the screw-on masonry, fake masonry brick look so that it has the same sort of foundation as my house does. Because if my house has got about 3 feet of brick sticking up from the ground. So I figured, pour concrete and then screw those on and make it look like it's brick, even though it's not. And then it'll be stick built for everything else.
Well, one of the concerns I do have is, you said about, maybe doing car repair and all that. That would be your repair, not a business.
No, I'm a hobbyist. I have a 1971 Buick Riviera in the garage that I've been slowly working on fixing for years. I got a 1990 Suburban right now, and that's my hobby. I like old Cadillacs, old General Motors cars. I have no desire to do any sort of business or anything like that or any repair shop. It's strictly my personal cars and stuff like that. I work at the nuclear power plant down in Clinton. I make more than enough money down there. I don't have to do no side business. I don't have the time for it. You know what I mean?
No worries. I had to ask because you said about putting maybe a hydraulic lift in and stuff like that.
Oh, not a hydraulic. No hydraulic lift
Okay.
because there's EPA stuff with that. Even though it's a home thing, I do an electric cable operation with there's a hobbyist lift. It's a 4-post rollable lift. It's like $2,500 and it allows me to actually do work like this and stand the stuff and weld body parts in without contorting myself and blasting myself in the eye. Uh-oh. Feed's gone.
Uh-oh. I still see you. We got your feed. We still have
We lost the hall.
yeah.
But yeah, and I've talked with the electricians about that too. There's an electrical contractor on there that
Not there yet.
Oh, okay, sorry. I'll stop.
Well,
That's a new thing. Get everything dialed in, this might work in the future too. Should have eaten that pizza. Gonna move it in here.
John, I think we have to have full feed before we can do anything.
Yeah, we'll have to wait until I think they must be working on it. Either that or they decided, oh, there's someone. Oh, there's.
yeah, they're working on it. We're having some technical difficulties out there, so he's gonna give me a thumbs up in a minute here. But yeah, they're having some problems right now, so bear with us.
It's too much internet.
Okay, John, are you done with your questions? John, you have to unmute.
Okay, I'm okay right now. You can go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, Vince, do you have any questions?
No, I'm good.
Can't
Dan,
see.
do you have any questions? All right, basically, we've given this variance before, it's just a little bit bigger. We did look at his preliminary plans, they're actually pretty nice, they will be an improvement to the neighborhood. So, yeah, I realize Vince and John will have to take my word for it, but it's gonna actually look pretty nice if he does what he says he's gonna do.
I'm planning on it. I've got a contract with Mr. Larrabee on it right now.
Okay. The request for a variance would be 572 square feet over the allowed total of 900. Yep, for another one, Vince? And that is 64% over the allowed.
Sorry, and I do, last year we were talking about this, the properties were two different parcel numbers still. This year is the first year I went over to the county to get them combined, and then this year, the other parcel number is gone, and both lots are combined into one parcel number now. So I know last year there was some concern to build it and then spin it off, and no, it's all one thing. I'm not building something like this and then getting rid of it.
Okay.
Okay, well, one last question. You don't have any other garages on 217, do you?
Yes, there's a little, whatever it is, a little shack that's there that's in poor repair right now, and it's like a shed basically with a concrete floor. And I'm fully planning on destroying that as soon as this gets built, but I've got stuff in there now that I can't leave sitting out in the weather, like my lawnmowers and stuff. And as soon as this thing gets built, I'm gonna be coming here for a demolition permit and knocking that thing down because it's a piece of crap.
Okay, let's make sure we mention it. Vince, you up for another one?
All right. Let's see here. Gotta make sure I get all my numbers right here. All right, I make a motion that the request of Martin Phelan for an accessory structure, for a variance for an accessory structure to exceed 50% of the footprint of the principal structure, normally not to exceed 900 square feet total, as per, again, the appropriate section number 118-2. However, the variance will be for 572 square feet over the 900 square feet permitted for said accessory structure, but not to exceed 1,472 square feet.
I think you should add in the proviso that they have to demolish the other structure when this structure is finished. Because that has to be calculated in.
Oh, I do not disagree, and that's where I was going, because I drove through the alley today, and that structure sits kind of cattywampus to the alley, so that you could come in and drive straight into it. So there's also an ancillary, an existing ancillary structure on said property, which must be demolished upon the erection of the requested garage to be built.
Okay. Is there a time limit on that, like 6 months or 3 months or?
I said, why don't we make that, said time limit for demolition to run concurrent with the time limit, for building permits
Okay,
associated with the, proposed garage.
okay.
And I think that, Charlie, correct me, but I think those run a year, do they not?
That's good.
Matt? Well, how about we put it at the direct discretion of the building official?
That's fine. Yeah,
Put it at the discretion of the building official.
that's fine.
Because something comes up and he gets it done just short of the year, he might not get it done right at the year.
Hopefully not.
Things go wrong. We'll give him a
That's true.
benefit of the doubt.
You never know with all this corona stuff going on too.
Hey, maybe. Yes. Okay, I'm asking for a second.
I'll do seconds.
All right, Dan seconds it. All in favor?
Aye.
4 ayes, motion carries. Okay, again, Mr. Phelan, we are strictly a recommendational board. We recommend you go to the next city council meeting.
Okay, that's Tuesday, right?
This coming Tuesday at 7 o'clock.
All right, I'll be there. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, good luck.
So, thank you. You guys have a good one.
You
Okay.
too. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks, Charlie, for your assistance on those two.
Yeah, and Dan.
Wait a minute.
and Charlie. thank
Wait a
you,
minute,
and
motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye, motion carries.
All right.
Aye.
And good night.
All right,
Good night.
guys. Good job.